Shalom. Let me get straight into this lesson. Spirit jumped on me to go into this subject matter of the Israelites, you so-called blacks, you so-called Hispanics, you so-called Native Americans, you so-called Jamaicans, you so-called Haitians, you so-called Caribbean Caribbeans, you know what I'm saying, all the other tribes that's scattered throughout the four corners of this earth, right? You think your ignorance is gonna be excused. Just because you're in ignorance don't mean that's just like in this system. If you're not aware of something, that don't mean things not gonna happen to you just because you don't know. And you Israelites want to stay in this ignorant state of mind. You want to keep calling yourself bywords. You want to stay with your so-called white Jesus. And one thing I realized too, whatever you was taught growing up, and you brothers and you sisters need to listen up to this. Whatever you was taught growing up, that's even somebody in your family, somebody you're dealing with, so on and so forth, etc. Whatever that person was taught, that's what they're gonna believe until they come out of their state of mind. I'm gonna say that again. Whatever somebody was taught is what they're gonna believe until they come out of their state of mind, until they wake up, if it's meant for them to wake up. So you see in this illustration right here, you got these people with boxes over their head, right? And then in the spirit, this is like them being spiritually blind, spiritually dead. Give me 1 second. Right, they like a representation of Salakia, of being spiritually dead. You know what I'm saying? Because they're walking, but they don't have no sense of direction. They can't see where they're going. And it's the equivalency of being spiritually blind because people in the world, especially our people, they'll attach themselves to being Christians. They'll attach themselves to being Muslim. They attach themselves to be into all these strange religions, but they don't know what the hell is going on. They don't know the source of these religions. They don't know nothing. They just following what they've been taught. And that's just what it is until they come out of that state of mind and they're going to look at you like you're crazy. Let's go here. It's going to be a pretty heavy lesson through the spirit. What is spiritual blindness? As you're seeing right here, this is a representation of somebody being spiritually blind. These people represent the people of the world that's wandering through America in these various ways of thinking, which a way of thinking is attached to a so-called religion, a belief system. Everybody believes in something. Even if you got these atheists, right? They don't believe in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, but let a tornado touch down, they're gonna say, "Oh my God." That's a common phrase among you heathens, among these people. Oh my God, right? Why are they saying that? Because that's the name. That's the name that they've been indoctrinated to believe, but they still know there's something greater than what they then put their folly mind into, even as an atheist. Because most of these atheists are gonna say, "Oh my God," right? And you Israelites, you fixate on the name God because they taught you the name God, and you so stupid that you open your Bible up and you see the name God, and then you don't. That's why you got to study to show yourself approved. You don't know shit. And a lot of you, you run your mouth without knowing what you're talking about. You make yourself look stupid. But you want to be Christians and you want to call on his name God and Jesus, right? So let's go to this spiritual blindness. What does this mean? Because a lot of you people say you're spiritual, just to throw that word out there, but you don't have no idea what you're saying. You don't have no idea. You just say it because it's a cool sounding punchline. It says in spiritual context, spiritually blind refers to the inability to perceive or understand spiritual truths, the truth. That's why the Spirit had me study all this other stuff. And when the Lord, you know, put me in the truth, I knew this was it. I knew I was at home, I was at rest, because I had studied everything for the most, going into these various so-called religions. It says spiritual truths, realities, or the presence of God. So this name God, I really want to hone in on this because this is all you know. This the only word that the world uses is God to refer to the Most High, Yahweh. That's his true name. Even the Most High is a title. That's not his name. And you people say Jesus, You know, everybody in the world say that. So that's how you know we're in the truth too. Because everything that we're doing is against the whole world. So that's how we know a telltale sign if you're going in the right direction. You know, you avoiding the crowd, avoiding the herd, because the herd is all confused and bugged out. It says, it says often used to describe those who are not receptive to religious or spiritual teachings, and that's heavy right here. This is heavy because that's you Israelites. Whether you refer to yourself as Colombian, Brazilian, you know, Caribbean, you know, Haitian, so-called Cuban, that's all folly. When you go into those names don't mean nothing concerning the ethnicity. I'm gonna read that again. It says often used to describe those who are not receptive to religious or spiritual teachings. Yeah. So that's you know, among our people, when you bring this information, this doctrine to them, they reject it. That's the first instinct because it's not lining up to what they've been taught as a child, right? What they've been indoctrinated to believe. That's why the Lord has to have a heavy hand and have the spirit on you to wake up out of this state of mind. Let's keep going. So, you know, our women like to say these spiritual, they don't know shit. They just say it because it's a cool punchline to say. And they think just because they shed a few tears, listen to a gospel song, that they spiritual. Completely out of their mind. It says right here, God, this the word that you love to use, you Israelites. It says the English word God is a title or a category of being, not a name. I'm gonna repeat that again. It says the English word God is a title or a category of being, not a name. You gotta get this shit understood, right? And I'm using harsh language because some things got to be said a certain way. It says in Hebrew, and in Hebrew, do you have to go back to Hebrew? Because that's the language, that's the original language that we spoke. That's the language of heaven. You don't. This English language language is all corrupted. It says the word for God is Elohim, which that's folly. That's going back into the Jewish jargon. It says the name of God revealed that Moses is I am that I am. It says or Yahweh, but we know his true name is Yahweh. Yahweh. That's what that means. It ain't Yahweh. That's some folly. That's what them small hatters, those J people use because they added the vowel system. When you go into the proper Hebrew, that's another thing you Jakes don't do. You know, I'm just saying, Jakes that's outside this truth. You know, you brothers and you sisters, just keep learning. It's Yahweh, and we've done lessons and on that. So let's go here. So a lot of stuff is, you know, what our people get wrong and you know they ignorant of because they lack of study. They don't want to put the work in, but they think they're gonna be on the level. They don't work like that in no kind of field of study, no kind of so-called job field. You got to put the work in, right, to get the results. It says the biblical phrase "study to show yourself approved," 2 Timothy 2:15, encourages the diligent effort to read this again. It says encourages diligent effort to achieve a goal, emphasizing personal growth and self improvement through dedication, through dedication, through dedication. I said that over and over so it can register. Because you know our people good for running a fucking mouth, you know, but they're not dedicated to shit. They're dedicated to the world. It says through dedicated learning and understanding of Yahweh's by Hashem Yahweh word. So that's how you start to build yourself up. Like Kobe Bryant, I'm just giving you an example of somebody in the world. How he became a better basketball player, he stayed in the gym. He was a gym rat, right? He was obsessed with it. Michael Jordan was obsessed. We obsessed with it. When I first heard this truth, it was like me hearing the best song I ever heard in my life. I'm this obsession because I want to know everything. Even though we're not gonna get everything on this side, we're gonna get what we need. But it's that burning passion, that obsession. And I'm still like that about the truth. So when you got people running a fucking mouth about what they think they know because they saw a goddamn TD Jakes sermon, you know, We laugh you people to scorn because we ain't taking you serious, man. You in folly. Let's go here. And this is big among our people, having a form of godliness. So they'll say they're Christian. They'll stop saying so-called curse words. That whole madness. They're, you know, practice on being a better person and giving and all that shit. Salakia. That's what they think being so-called God-fearing is. No, so-called God-fearing is keeping the statute, laws, commandments to the best of your abilities and having faith and following this doctrine, Yahweh Shah, resting in Yahweh Shah first, right? And following the ways of the Lord. And, the statute, laws, commandments are the ones that you can keep, right? Because we're not going to be saved by the law because you got a lot of that folly going on among the nation. That Jacob screamed the law. They're going to the law. Well, they don't even go into the law. They just say the law, the statutes and commandments, but they couldn't name you 10 laws. You know what I'm saying? So we don't boast and brag into the law. That's not going to save us. We rest in Yahweh Shah. But you have to, faith without works is dead. You have to try. You got to cut things out of your life. You have to start making changes in your life from the world. That's just the way it works. Before you even go to these devils military, they're going to try you out. They're going to put you through a hazing process. Most High going to put us through the furnace of adversity. You have to cut things out of your life. You can't be doing idolatry and saying you love the Most High. That's folly. And you should know, you should have an understanding of what idolatry is. See, a lot of you play a lot of games because you try to, think, the Most High is stupid. The Most High know everything, right? It says 2 Timothy 3:5 of the King James Version, Paul warns against people having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. From such turning away, meaning to avoid those who outwardly appear righteous. And it's you Israelites. You'll throw a cross around your neck, which that's a symbol of idolatry. You'll say you don't do this and you don't do that. You ain't listening to rap music. You think that's what godliness is. You know what I'm saying? You don't have no clue what's going on, but you'll swallow down a pork chop sandwich. You know what I'm saying? That's folly. Or you eat some crawfish or, catfish and say the Lord, you'll say a stupid prayer, praying to your idols. You know what I'm saying? You people, you destroy for lack of knowledge. It says, meaning to avoid those who outwardly appear righteous, religious, Salakia, but reject the true power and authority of Yahweh. Right here. It says, having a form of godliness. It says, this refers to people who outwardly appear to be righteous or godly, perhaps through their actions, through their actions, words, or rituals, but their hearts, mean their inner part, their mind, are not genuinely devoted to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. And that's all you fucking Christians. When you think you're waking up on some knowledge, you think you got it all figured out, you don't know nothing, man. I'm just saying the people outside of this truth. But you brothers and you sisters know what time it is. Let's go here. Kind of working my way back. I was going to work the other way, but the spirit move how it do. But yeah, you Israelites a trip, man. And you're up to your same games, you know what I'm saying? Our people think they think that being a good person is in their mind and they folly. That's why I say having a form of godliness. So they think going to so-called church more, which that's idolatry, but you can't tell them shit. You try to tell them everything they doing is wrong and they got a problem with it because they're really wicked. It says Jeremiah 17:9, it says the heart, which means the mind. It ain't talking about that muscle in your chest, Jake. Get out that mindset with that shit. The heart is deceitful above all things, especially a woman mind. It's full of folly and desperately wicked. Who can know it? So going deep into this, everybody on this side is full of iniquity. That's why we need a savior. But you do have to try. You can't continue to do the same things that you was doing in the world. A lot of you want to be in the world. A lot of you love the world. The world don't even benefit you, but you love it because you're so rebellious. You don't want the truth, and you don't want to change your ways. Well, the wages of sin is death. So go for it. Hopefully this lesson has been edifying. Kal Hala Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak, Kodash. Shalom.